Check your own behavior for a second. There is a high probability you are watching this while tabbing between apps, checking notifications, or fighting the urge to start scrolling for a quicker hit of stimulation. Many behaviors, often labeled as low intelligence, are not fixed genetic traits. Modern psychology suggests these are often the result of specific, daily behavioral choices, a pattern we call the low-growth mindset. This leads to a difficult question. Are you currently trapped in a digital cycle that is actively stunting your own cognitive potential? We are conducting a psychological audit. If you recognize these 5 traits in your own life, you are looking at the specific behaviors that keep a person trapped in a low-growth state. To understand the habits, we have to look at the brain's reward pathway and the primary driver of this mindset, cheap dopamine. This chart tracks a destabilized reward system. While the spikes offer a momentary high, they are followed by crashes that drop below your natural baseline. Over time, your brain struggles to return to its original equilibrium. When you prioritize these easy rewards, your cognitive world shrinks. The brain adapts to avoid any task that doesn't offer an immediate payout, reducing your ability to handle complex problems or sustained focus. This reliance on cheap dopamine trains the brain to avoid mental effort, which manifests as 5 specific observable symptoms. Habit 1 is chronic passive consumption. This is the transition from active thinking to a numb, endless loop of intake, where you no longer evaluate what you see, you just absorb it. Habit 2 is the echo chamber addiction. A dopamine-starved brain is fragile. It often views contradictory information as a threat to its comfort, leading it to reject any facts that require the effort of reevaluation. Habit 3 is the inability to delay gratification. When the brain is trained for the instant hit, long-term skill acquisition feels like an impossible burden. As a result, the fruit of easy distraction is consumed, while the complex puzzles of life go unsolved. These 3 habits work in tandem. They represent a retreat from the friction required to engage with reality. That retreat leads to habit 4, reflexive friction avoidance. This is the physical and mental urge to quit the moment a task becomes analytically difficult, seeking a refresh button instead of a solution. Habit 5 is reactionary emotional spikes. When cognitive patience is low, frustration is expressed through quick, uncalibrated outbursts, especially in digital spaces where the barrier to reaction is non-existent. The difference between these 2 pathways isn't talent. It is the trained capacity to tolerate cognitive friction. One path avoids resistance and reaches a plateau. The other uses friction to climb. These 5 habits are indicators of a brain that has been conditioned to choose the path of least resistance. Breaking this cycle requires more than just willpower. It requires an active intervention in your own thought process. This intervention is called the curiosity modifier, a simple formula to disrupt the automatic craving for cheap dopamine. First, identify the micro moment of the urge, the split second your hand reaches for your phone out of boredom. That pause creates the intervention window. Instead of following the habit, inject a question. Why do I want to look at this? This forces active inquiry. Applying the curiosity modifier in those moments of weakness shifts your reward center's priorities. You are teaching your brain that engagement is more valuable than distraction. By replacing passive hits with active friction, you can slowly restore your baseline focus and improve your ability to handle complex information. A high-growth mindset is a practice skill. It is the result of choosing the friction of a real problem over the ease of a digital distraction, one deliberate choice at a time. Start using the curiosity modifier today. Catch your behavioral loops, apply the friction of a question, and begin the process of reclaiming your focus.